Speaking of not being healthy, the Rockets, they haven't been healthy, and they only scored 9 points in the fourth quarter last night in a loss to the Wolves on the road. Houston's 2-5 over its last 7 games. Afterwards, Chris Paul remained confident, though, in the Rockets' talent. He said, quote, "I'm still not that concerned, to tell you the truth. Somebody's got to beat us 4 out of 7 times. I don't see that happening." Paul, do you share CP3's confidence in the Rockets?
I'm not so sure this year because, they don't carry that same swagger last year. You just knew the Rockets was going to run up the scoreboard a year ago. They were just three-pointers after three-pointer after, and then they lose their defense. Yeah, they lose their depth. And I'm just not as confident in this Rockets team because if James Harden lose time to like injury or CP again, they can easily not make the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's what we've seen so far. So they're 9-5, 10-5 when both those guys play. Yeah. And when one of them doesn't, they're terrible. And we know CP, as he gets older, man, injury issues are going to be a concern more and more for him. So there is a question mark there. But even if they're healthy, like Paul said, this team is not last year's team.
No.
The full-strength Rockets are still not as good as they were a year ago. And so I don't know how you could be that confident to say any team, because, when you say any team, you're including
the Warriors. Right, yeah. Look, I take the Warriors out of this equation, at least for this particular conversation.
For every conversation.
Right, for sure. But if you look at them in a series, chances are they've got 2 of the best 3 or 4 players on the floor in any given series. So based on that, even with the lack of depth that they have, and we'll get to that in a second, because Daryl Morey said some words about that recently, I still think that if you look at the rest of the West, I'd probably favor them in a series against anyone not named the Warriors.
Would you favor them against the Lakers?
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, I probably would. I probably would still favor them against the Lakers, even by a small amount.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You just think Bron is that good? Because
you'll favor them versus Denver this year?
Yeah. You know why? Because I haven't seen them do it in the playoffs yet. Right. And here's the thing. No, but it's true. It's true. I haven't seen them do anything yet. Like Paul Millsap's been in the playoffs. But the rest of those guys. Yeah, and with the Lakers, kind of the same thing. I've seen Bron in the playoffs for the most part of the guys who are going to play heavy minutes. But those young kids, their RPM numbers came out on ESPN. We talked about it on radio yesterday. They haven't been pretty. So I don't know what those young guys are going to look like in the playoffs. So against the Rockets, I'll take their experience. All right, Daryl Morey, as I mentioned, spoke to Tom Haberstroh on his podcast about the Rockets' recent struggles. Here's his quote: "Slam me. I deserve to be slammed."
Okay.
Simple as that. So, Amin, does Morey deserve the bulk of the blame?
Look, here's the thing. Behind every kind of head-scratching summer that your team had, I guarantee you there's an ownership component that's involved there. But without any solid
you say like financials?
Whatever it is. Ownership has a say. Whenever you think, wait, why would they do that? Doesn't make any sense. It's particularly if it's someone who he ain't no dummy, right? Like Daryl Morey, you may not think he's the best GM or whatever, but he's not a fool to look at his team from last year and say, yeah, we don't need any of these guys. But without any solid facts that I want to talk about with ownership, then yes, he deserves to be slammed because he let guys go. Look, here's the deal. When you have a championship window, you got to go full throttle. You can't penny pinch. You can't try to find a deal or whatever. You got to go whatever it takes to go to achieve that window because you don't know when it closes, when it'll open up for you again.
Absolutely. This reminds me of the year after we won the championship. We lost James Posey. We didn't re-sign him back. Yeah. That was huge for us. He was a key, and that's what I see with the Houston Rockets. And that was our window. Outside of Kevin Garnett getting hurt, but us not bringing back Posey really hurt our squad. And I see that with the Rockets not bringing back Mbah and Ariza.
Ariza particularly reminds me a lot of Posey, really, a guy who could defend
Those are
on the perimeter.
Glue guys. These are guys you need on your team. And they lost 2 of them.
And it wasn't just the glue guy part of it, is that having multiple of those, because you can say, oh, we still got P.J. Tucker, but having 3 of those dudes gives you an immense amount of depth and switchability and flexibility with your lineups so that you always got one of those dudes on the floor. Now it's really thin, and you say, we're going to replace it with guys like James Ennis, who nice young player, but really hasn't done a lot in his career. Michael Carter-Williams, same thing. He's not known as a defender, not known as a shooter.
Brandon Knight hasn't played.
Brandon Knight hasn't played yet. Marquise Chris, another young player, and obviously Carmelo Anthony. That didn't work out. It seemed really short-sighted, and I get it. $15 million for Ariza is a lot. But man, you bite the bullet. When the window's open,
there,
you got to bite the bullet on those.
Yeah, that's the one I don't understand. The other guys I get a little bit.
They could have kept in Moute. They had their exception,
right.
their taxpayer, or excuse me, their mid-level exception.
But the Trevor Ariza one to me, and look, he may be available again because I saw Mark Stein was reporting that on December 15th he may get moved. I don't think the Rockets have the pieces potentially to move him, right? I mean, it's not like Phoenix is taking Brandon Knight back.
Right.
You know, right?
They do need a point guard. Hold on. Phoenix,
Maybe. You gonna get on the phone with James Jones?
I can make it. I can bring these people together.
So, yeah, I just think that's the one.
Yeah, that's not going to work. I mean, they dropped the ball. That's it. The window, I think, for Houston Rockets is closed.
Wow. Okay.
For a championship, I agree with Paul.
Okay.
Like, they had a chance, and they had to sustain that window open, and they...
Yes.
All right.